Hi, welcome to the introduction of the Shapes brush. The tool is currently work in progress, and once it's available it will be part of the Blend Shape Editor Shapes, as well as an independent tool. The Shapes brush is actually a very simple thing, but it adds some functionality to Maya which has been missing for a long time. And let's get started by opening the interface. With this little window here, we have currently just one brush, which is the grab brush. We have actually two more modes, which is controlled by the modifier keys Shift and Control, which add the smoothing and the sliding. Then we have some curve presets, basic symmetry and fall off, whether it's surface or volume based, and depth and relax, and I come to these in a minute. My mesh is currently loaded in my shapes interface here. This is of course not necessary, but only for demonstration purposes. And when I enter sculpt mode, I select my brush. I'm directly using the grab brush, so click, drag and done. That's about it. You don't even have to have your mesh selected, so you can have nothing selected at all. I select my brush and just can drag away and sculpt my geometry here. So, well, that's about it. It's really a really simple thing. We have undo functionality, of course, and but to get a little bit more into the details, I cancel my mode here, go to a pose with regular sculpting starts to get very difficult when we have this interpenetration here of the mesh. So the lower arm is inside the upper arm and vice versa. And with the regular sculpting tools, it's really hard to get in here and get rid of this collision thing and make the mesh appear like it's really colliding. Okay, I again enter my sculpt mode, and by default the shapes brush works on top of things. So it's always the top of the surface, which is close to the camera. But with the depth buttons here, I can really go into the mesh and sculpt my mesh from there. So right now I don't want to work on the surface of things, but I want to go into it. I set my depth to 1, and now you can see that I'm not grabbing the surface of the mesh, but I'm grabbing the inside of the mesh. So let me activate the X-ray mode here, and now we can see that we can just grab the mesh and move it around and get rid of everything in here. With the middle mouse button we can adjust the size. So get this a little bit smaller and just pull it to where it's really close to each other, and maybe pull this out a little bit more and grab this. Just get it getting nicer. Okay, while we're in here, we can talk about the second thing, which is the smoothing. With the modifier key Shift, I can now smooth my mesh. And this is something important to notice is here, that the smoothing, it's just not applying the smoothing, but we can adjust the strength of the smoothing. So if I have my Shift key pressed and with the middle mouse button, I can now set the strength of my smoothing. So if I have my strength set to 1, I can really get really harsh smoothing effects, as you can see. But if I dial it down to a very low value, I can have really control about my smoothing and get it work really nicely. By default, the smoothing is set to relax, which means that the mesh tries to stay close to the surface, so it's kind of a sliding effect, just like the relax function with a standard Maya sculpting tool. But in here it might get in the way a little bit, so I turn relax off for this demo inside here, and I can get a little bit better control about how my mesh really behaves. Okay, just grab it a little bit more, smooth a little bit more. Then I'm done in the inside. I turn off my X-ray mode here, set my depth back to 0, adjust my brush size, sculpt the rest in here so it's really close to each other. Maybe do a little bit more smoothing. Of course, we have to adjust the bicep a little bit. Just move it in here and can get really nice deformation effects this way. Okay, some other thing we want to work on, of course, is the elbow. So I again drag my mesh here and there, and then it's of course a little bit harder to get everything in the right place. So it's a combination of pulling and smoothing, and here you can again see that how nicely the smoothing works. So I just have really huge control about how I want to smooth my my mesh. If I set my smoothing again to 1 and smooth, you can see that it's a really fast smoothing effect that takes place. If I set my smoothing to a lower value, then I have really fine control about what I'm doing here. The third brush mode we have here is the sliding, which is controlled by the control key. I just adjust my brush size a little bit bigger, press my control key, and now I can slide my mesh towards the elbow a little bit because the entire arm moves and the skin stretches, and this way I can get a little bit more subdivisions here around the elbow. Of course, the skin stretches there too, but of course we can get in here and move the entire skin around a little bit. Just over exaggerating it here, but well, you get the idea. One thing to look out for though is when we're working on a very tight area with lots of curvature and the brush size is too large, and when I slide, it can happen. Let me see if I can demonstrate it here. It can happen that, well, we see it here, we get this stray vertices. And, well, the thing is that the sliding effect is controlled by a projection. And if in this area where the arm is, or where there's lots of curvature on the arm, the projection doesn't work around the arm, so it's just working in screen space, and then it can happen that we can get these stray vertices. So that's something to look out for. But of course we have the undo, and one thing to get around it is just don't set your brush size too large, and just do it in little separate steps, and you won't have as much of a problem like this. Okay, well, nothing's perfect, but well, you get the idea. Okay, well, that's about it. We have the symmetry, of course, is should be no problem at all. Fall off is based on the soft selection. Everything's working in surface space, but if I want to have more of a volume effect, then I can get in here and see I have a volume around the cursor. If I set it to surface, then it's just surface based. Another example, just quickly for the sliding effect, is when we have skin sliding over underlying musculature or bones. I can just adjust my brush size here, and I can get really nice sliding effects. So this is this huge advantage of the shapes brush, and it makes working with this really nice and really easy. And only with these three modes, the grabbing, the control smoothing, and the surface sliding, it makes it a really nice tool to work with. And I think it lessens the need to transfer your mesh back and forth between Maya and ZBrush or Modbox or whatever. You just do it in one application, and that's it. Well, that's about it with a shapes brush. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, just drop me a note. One thing to note here though is remember, it's still work in progress. So one issue I'm still having is on the different platforms with the different versions of Maya, that the circle doesn't draw always in the default rendering or the viewport 2.0. So it might not be there all the time, but I found that even if it's missing, you can still get a feel for the size and for the adjustments you're doing. So it shouldn't be that much of a drawback. But just keep an eye on it, and if you have any issues, just drop me a mail. Well, thanks for watching. That's about it with a shapes brush, and well, thank you.